Good evening. You're tuned in to Emo Nightly News every moment online. In tonight's news headlines, Dominica strengthens cruise ties at Sea Trade 2026. 17 police officers graduate from PRMIS training program. Dominica gears up for Jazz and Creole 2026 after final press conference. St. Lucia modernizes labor force survey to align with global standards. The United States tightens visa rules. Applicants must deny fear of persecution. And Devon George selected for Poland Showcase Tour. Details of these stories and more coming up next. Stay with us.
Across our Caribbean, we're going digital, working smarter and living safer online.
In Dominica, we don't fall for fake prices. We check before we click.
In Grenada, we verify before we share, keeping our hard-earned money safe from hackers.
In St. Lucia, we report cyberbullying, protecting our children and each other.
In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we report scams fast, protecting our neighbors and our communities.
Together, we're building a cyber-smart Caribbean, keeping our people and our data safe, standing up to scams and cybercrime. We stay connected, but always alert. This message is brought to you by the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project. Stay smart, stay safe. Think Card TP. Visit cardtpconnect.org.
Welcome back. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis, and this is the news broadcast for the 30th of April, 2026. In local news this evening, students enrolled in the Health Promotion and Maintenance course within the Bachelor's of Science Nursing program at the Faculty of Health Sciences. Dominica State College recently benefited from an engaging guest lecture by Ms. Sheena Harry, Communications Officer in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Social Services. The session explored key aspects of health promotion, from structures and approaches to practical strategies and interventions, including how to design impactful educational materials and communicate effectively with diverse audiences. Beyond the theory, students were challenged to think critically, ask questions, and step confidently into their future roles as advocates, policy influencers, and agents of change within the health sector. Here's to continued collaboration across sectors, and here's to the next generation of healthcare professionals who are ready to serve, educate, and transform lives. 17 police officers have successfully completed the Police Records Management Information System (PRMIS) training, marking a major step toward modernization within the force. The graduation ceremony was held at police headquarters and chaired by Antonio Moses. Officers completed 2 intensive phases of training, including Train the Trainers and Administrator modules, equipping them with critical digital skills. Delivering the keynote remarks, Chief of Police Lincoln Corbett emphasized the importance of the program in strengthening the force's capacity in an increasingly digital world. The ceremony also featured remarks from Deputy Chief of Police Jeffrey James, while Instructor WPC Antonia Cotain and participant Corporal Dupigny shared insights into the training experience. All 17 officers received certificates of participation, with the program supported by the United Nations Development Program. Officials say the initiative represents a significant investment in improving efficiency, record management, and overall policing in Dominica. Also in local news this evening, Dominica has boosted its presence in the global cruise market following high-level meetings at Sea Trade Cruise Global 2026 in Miami. Led by Benoit Badouil, The delegation engaged major cruise partners to increase calls and enhance the island's tourism product, alongside ongoing projects like the cable car and port expansion.
Seatrade Cruise Global remains a critical platform for strengthening our partnership and positioning Dominica for growth in the cruises sector. This year, we saw strong interest from cruise lines, and the excitement around the cable car signals a real breakthrough for Dominica in the cruise market. Now we're focused on turning that momentum into more cruise calls, stronger partnerships, continued investment in infrastructure, and encourage high-quality visitor experiences, and ensuring real economic benefits for our people and businesses across Dominica.
The island recorded strong growth, welcoming nearly 396,000 cruise visitors so far this season. The delegation also secured international media exposure through interviews with Condé Nast Traveler, The Wall Street Journal, and Marketplace Excellence, further positioning Dominica within key global travel and business markets. The cruise industry remains a critical component of Dominica's economy, supporting over 3,000 jobs, while the wider tourism sector contributes approximately 1/3 of national GDP. The government of Dominica continues to prioritize strategic partnerships and infrastructure investment, strengthen the island's competitiveness, and expand its presence in the global cruise market. Excitement is building for Jazz and Creole 2026 following the final press conference before the highly anticipated event to be held this weekend. Festival and events manager Ayodele Andrew spoke on the economic impact of the event in the community of Portsmouth.
Jazz and Creole is an economic stimulator for the North. As we speak, Emmanuel said, with earlier accommodations in the North are buzzing, people are planning their weekend in the North, and that is what we are seeking to fulfill for the communities in the North. And that is a testament of the draw of the festival, that people living all the way in the South would move up to the North for the weekend. Visitors coming in would be staying in the North. And so that creates a massive surge in the economy in the northern areas, and we encourage patrons to visit the restaurants, bars, the roadside vendors, support the community, and so that when you leave, you're leaving your mark by making a financial contribution into the economy, while you have had a most fantastic weekend in the North.
Andrew said that gates open at 2 p.m. but shuttle service begins earlier. Patrons can't afford to miss the 2026 edition, celebrating 15 years of Jazz and Creole. Sponsors also played a key role in the event's development. Let's hear from Tyrell Alexander as she talks about what Springfield Trading has in store for the Kids Zone.
At Springfield, we believe in creating lasting memories, and we are pleased to play our part in helping to enhance the overall experience of Jazz and Creole. This year, we are ecstatic about bringing the fun and engaging presence to the Jazz and Creole Kids Zone through a combination of well-loved snack brands and interactive experiences. Our featured products will include Bigfoot holiday snacks, along with Bermuda's cookie favorites such as Rough Tops, Caribbean Delights, Domino's, as well as chili biscuits. And in addition to these product offerings, Springfield Trading will create memorable moments for patrons through complimentary face painting and an exciting 360 booth experience.
Meanwhile, Charlene White Christian of the OECS Pearl explained how Jazz and Creole aligns with the goal of our organization.
As National Coordinator of the OECS Pearl, it is indeed a pleasure for me, as the representative of the OECS Pearl, the Program for Educational Advancement and Relevant Learning, to stand as a proud partner of the Jazz and Creole event here in Dominica. This vibrant celebration of music, culture, and identity reflects very well every essence of learning, creativity, and expression and the values that are deeply aligned with the mission of the OECS Pearl. Our program is dedicated to advancing education across the region by improving access, strengthening the quality of teaching and learning, and ensuring that every child is equipped with the skills needed to succeed.
She encouraged all to visit the ORC's Pearls booth for wonderful surprises. Organizers also highlighted several fringe events, including Jazz Under the Stars, Jazz on the Beach, and Jazz and Arts in Paradise, along with the silent headphone party at Clara Lounge in Portsmouth, all designed to enhance the overall festival experience.
The creative and performing arts play a vital role in shaping our well-rounded students, encouraging innovation, cultural awareness, and self-expression. Events for us, like the Jazz and Creole, provide a powerful platform where culture and learning intersect. By reinforcing the importance of the visual and performing arts at school, as well as the holistic child. This partnership also allows us to use this event as a sensitization opportunity, helping the public better understand the work of the OECS Pearl and the positive impact it is having on education across our region. In particular, we are pleased to share the information on the digital OECS Harmonized Primary Curriculum, or what we call the DOHPC, which is designed to strengthen the foundation and the learning experience of every child. This year, we are happy to partner with the Discover Dominica Authority and the DFC in this wonderful experience.
Jazz and Creole continues to be one of Dominica's premier cultural events, blending music, fashion, cuisine, and local artistry into one unforgettable experience.
So May the 1st, Friday, as the sun sets and the stars take their place in the night sky, Borough Square will become alive like never before. From 7 p.m., we transform this space into a vibrant celebration of music, culture, and community. This is not just an event, this is an atmosphere. This is not just music, this is a feeling that you will take with you forever. Waiting for next year, can't wait for next year.
Years, we may think Jazz on the Beach is a regular event, and this year it's no exception. We're doing it again on Saturday, the 2nd. That's the day before the actual event at the Cabarets. Now, so we're talking about Saturday the 2nd, and it's going to be from 8 p.m. to midnight. All right? Now, let's bear in mind that on Saturday, there will be a big full moon, you know, and any one of us who have experience or have any kind of romantic thoughts, we want to be on the beach on a full moon night.
Now, let's hear from some of the artists as they give a bit of what to expect.
At last, my love has come along, and my lonely days are over, and life is like a song. Oh yeah, at last.
Maintenant dans l'évolution, moi ma chère oui, moi dormi à la pluie, hey, les gens moi, toujours ça la chiffonner, pas à moi, oh et puis gonflé, moi me jouer quand moi me va toujours perdre. I wanna give you some love. I wanna give you some good good loving. Oh, I wanna give you some love. Thank you.
The Dominica 4-H program hosted its senior secondary school's graduation ceremony on Wednesday under the theme Beyond Ready, Thinking Bigger, Serving Better, Living Healthier. Minister for Culture, Honorable Greta Roberts, urged graduates to reflect deeply on the meaning of the theme, encouraging them to embrace its message as they move forward. She emphasized the importance of refusing to limit their dreams and aspirations, noting that young people possess voices capable of creating meaningful change in society. The minister also highlighted the 4-H movement's strong emphasis on service, stressing that true excellence is measured by the positive impact individuals have on others. She further underscored service as a noble virtue, encouraging graduates to live lives rooted in compassion, purpose, and community contribution. And finally, happening locally, the 4th Blue Justice Caribbean Hub workshop opened in Dominica yesterday morning. Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture with responsibility for fisheries and the blue economy, Honorable Julian Defoe, addressed the opening ceremony. In his remarks, he explained the importance of the workshop in enabling stakeholders to address illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing.
And all of this conversation is also takes into the context what goes on the high seas, because as you know, under UNCLOS, United Nations Law of the Seas, it is a space for all mankind. I wouldn't go explaining so much in detail. That means every nation in the world, especially coastal states, have a right to access the high seas and to harvest its resources for its own economic benefits, livelihood, food security. So even if we don't have a fleet at the moment, doesn't mean that this is not something that we do not choose to, we may choose to pursue in the future as we grow and we build our capacity. And also every nation, even in our own domestic legislation, our laws make access for the state to enter into access agreements. It may be with entities within the country, or entities outside the country, or even with states outside the country. So I'm just saying that we may find that the topic is broad and as if like it doesn't look like something that is suited for Dominica, but just these very few reasons I've given you will show you how deeply connected that we are. And we all operate, even as a small island state or big developed nation, we all operate under the same international rules. So this subject is very pertinent. I could finish my speech and I make a little speech even before I say a speech.
Participants say that it is expected to be a learning opportunity and the chance to network with Caribbean partners.
With IUU fishing, and which means that we have to be able to manage all of this in a sustainable way. The Marine Reserve has been operational for over 25 years, and what I expect out of this workshop is information on how to partner at the local level, coordinate all our energies, synergize our vision so that we can be able to combat illegal, unrelated, and unregulated fishing. Because the marine environment is not just about fish, you know. You have chemicals, you have pollution, all of those can affect the marine reserve. And if we're looking at preserving and protecting the marine reserve, we have to be able to tackle this at a group level, not just small SSMR, but big Dominica, fisheries, the Ministry of Legal Affairs, and Maritime Administration, and the Coast Guard. All of this is important for us. So I have high expectations for the workshop, and I'm excited for the invitation and looking forward to have a great time.
I expect that we are going to really be able to come together as a region and look at how we can combat illegalities in the crime sector. Different countries bring their different perspectives and everyone has a different way of doing things. However, this is an opportunity for us to now learn from each other. And this Blue Justice partnership is really an excellent way to bring the region together, because we're all served by the same waters, and if we can really combat illegalities in the fishery sector, all the countries will benefit in a positive way.
The Blue Justice Caribbean Hub is part of the UNDP's Blue Resilient project. And that's all for local news this evening. Stay tuned for regional news coming up next. And now for regional news. Antigua and Barbuda has welcomed Commonwealth diplomatic representatives for a 2-day advance visit as preparations ramp up for the 2026 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting set for November 1 to 4. The delegation includes officials from the Commonwealth Secretariat and representatives from several member countries, taking part in briefings and site visits to key venues across the island. Organizers say the visit is a critical step in ensuring technical and operational readiness ahead of the summit. Officials add that feedback from delegates has been positive as Antigua and Barbuda continues preparations to host the major international event. The 10th Annual Growth and Resilience Dialogue, GRD, wrapped up with a strong focus on innovation and strategic action to drive economic transformation across the Eastern Caribbean. Day 3 of the forum highlighted the proposed Caribbean Diaspora Co-Investment Fund and the critical role of technology in accelerating growth and supporting the region's Big Push agenda. Participants reflected on a week of high-level discussions and collaboration, with key insights aimed at strengthening resilience and positioning the ECCU for long-term economic expansion, including efforts to double regional GDP. Organizers expressed gratitude to stakeholders, partners, and attendees for their contributions, noting that the dialogue has set a clear path forward for sustainable development. Plans are already underway for the 11th edition for the Growth and Resilience Dialogue next year. And now moving over to St. Lucia. St. Lucia is stepping up efforts to improve labor market data with a new 2-week training program to modernize its labor force survey. Led by the Central Statistical Office, the initiative is supported by the International Labour Organization, the OECS Commission, and the World Bank. Officials say the update introduces stricter definitions of employment, focusing only on work done for pay or profit in line with international standards. The changes are expected to provide a clearer picture of employment across the country, strengthen policy making, and support economic growth and regional collaboration. And that's all for regional news this evening. Stay tuned for international news coming up next.
Blast Gaming presents its biggest job whatever. Blast Mystery Progressive. I'm so excited. I can't hide it. The new Blast up and rising. And I like it. It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up and up and up and up.
Play selected games to win in the Blast Mystery Progressive. Pick until you match 3 gems and win one of the 5 cash jackpots. Or you can blast up with the Mystery Progressive jackpot.
It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up. Blast Gaming.
And now for international news. The United States has introduced new visa rules requiring applicants to confirm they do not fear persecution in their home countries. Under the policy, non-immigrant visa applicants, including tourists, students, and temporary workers, must state they have no fear of harm for their application to proceed. Officials say the measure is part of efforts to tighten immigration controls and protect the integrity of the system. However, critics warn the policy could put vulnerable individuals at risk and marks a significant shift towards stricter screening measures. Finally, U.S. President Donald Trump is considering extending a naval blockade on Iran in a bid to pressure the country back into negotiations. The strategy includes a possible longer-term closure of the Strait of Hormuz, alongside increased economic pressure as officials aim to avoid further military action. Authorities say the blockade has already disrupted Iran's oil exports, but the approach is contributing to rising global fuel prices and economic concerns. While the U.S. maintains pressure, uncertainty remains over whether Iran will concede as diplomatic talks continue to stall. And that's all for international news this evening. Stay tuned for the sports segment coming up next.
Tico, that's $800. Cash or card?
When cash is low, Tico is still ready.
Always card, Chalo. Would you like a copy of the receipt?
No, Chalo. NBD already sent me the alert and I'll see it on Mo Banking later. That is it. From card to farm. Power your business with the NBD Small Business Credit Card. Your partner, your bank.
And now for the sports segment. Kicking things off with football news. Point Michel FC delivered a strong late performance to secure a 4-2 win over We United FC, turning up the pressure when it mattered most. After a competitive contest, Point Michel capitalized on key moments in the later stages of the match with a clinical attacking display, sealing all 3 points. The result highlights their offensive strength and determination as the competition continues. And day one of the 2026 ECVA Senior Beach Volleyball Championships serves off this Friday, tomorrow, May 1st. At 10 a.m., Dominica's 2 faces St. Lucia's 1 in men's Pool A. At 11 a.m., the women's Dominica team takes on Antigua and Barbuda 1. At 1 p.m., Dominica 2 meets Grenada in men's Pool A, while Dominica 1 faces Antigua and Barbuda 2 in Pool C. Then at 2 p.m., Dominica's women return to play St. Lucia 1. And that's your quick look at the opening day. Stay tuned for more updates. And finally in sports, the Roosevelt-carried Portsmouth Bombers FC has announced that standout player Devon George has been selected for an elite European showcase tour in Poland this July. George earned his spot following a rigorous scouting process by Pitch Play's recruitment team and will be among a select group of players competing against professionals and semi-professional teams from July 13 to 26. The tour will also feature training sessions with UEFA licensed coaches and exposure to European scouts. The club says the achievement highlights its growing player development pathway and the increasing recognition of Dominican football talent internationally. Bombers FC also extended thanks to Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, Honorable Fenella Wenham Shepherd, and Island Travel for their support in making the opportunity possible. George's selection is being celebrated as a proud moment for Portsmouth and an inspiration for young athletes across the community. From Posse to Poland, a journey of opportunity. Congratulations from EmoNews. And that's all for the sports segment this evening. Stay tuned for the weather report coming up next.
Welcome to Portsmouth, the home of jazz and Creole.
This is where everything starts to build. And just a few minutes away,
on May 3rd, this entire space transforms
into music, into style, into a feeling you don't want to miss. Jazz and Creole, proudly presented by the government of Dominica. And it all happens right here. The artists performing on the main stage. From Jamaica, Taurus Riley, the Singy King, a voice that moves generations. And and the Black Soil Band. Also from Jamaica, Dean Fraser. When the sax hits, everything slows down. From the USA, the Manhattans. Timeless souls, effortless, unforgettable. Dominica's Princess of Song, Mikel Henderson. A voice that commands every moment. Dominica's neo-soul queen, Lily Octave. Smooth, rich, and completely her own. Pure energy from Dominica. Swinging stars. When they start, you move. The pulse of the streets. From Dominica, rhythm knockers. Raw percussion, iron-strong energy. From Dominica, Fael Landa. Honest sound, real connection. From Dominica, Janet Jackson. A voice that carries feeling, depth, and presence. And from Dominica, Khadija Joseph. New energy, a sound you'll feel. This is how we jazz up Creole in Dominica.
May 3rd, 2 p.m., Fort Shirley, Cabritz National Park.
Tickets, VIP $450. At fringe events, $175. General admission, $200. Ages 12 to 17, $75. And children under 12 enter for free. Get your tickets now at dominicafestivals.com and at select outlets in Roseau and Portsmouth. And when you're coming, come for an experience. In fact, make it a weekend.
Come from Friday. There's lots of available accommodations in the north and plenty to do.
Go whale watching, then slow it down. Snorkel the reefs, then take it inland. Drift through the Indian River and chase a waterfall at Syndicate. Then go deeper. Find your way to Paradise Valley. Step into the chocolate factory. Then shift the scene. Red Rocks. Then back to the coast. Coconut Beach, Purple Turtle Beach, Bell Hall Beach. Find a quiet spot, even a secret beach. Ride a horse along the shore. Eat well. Take your time. That's Portsmouth. We'll see you at the Fort Shirley Cabritz National Park on May 3rd from 2 p.m. dressed in your Afro elegance attire.
And now for the weather report. A high-pressure system is dominating conditions across the area, bringing generally fair to partly cloudy skies with a few showers expected. Winds are expected from east-northeast to east-southeast at 10 to 20 kilometers per hour, with seas slight to moderate, reaching 3 to 5 feet. There are no warnings or advisories in effect at this time. Marine conditions remain slight to moderate, and small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to exercise normal caution. And as always, stay informed and stay safe. And this brings us to the end of tonight's news broadcast for the 30th of April 2026. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis, and on behalf of the entire newscast, we say thank you for viewing. This is EmoNightly News, every moment online. Have a good night.